Hello, welcome to my channel. My name is Choma Mama. Please, if you are new, welcome. And if you're not new, welcome once again to another interesting video. Hopefully you'll enjoy this. So recently I shared something again on Instagram. I shared it on Instagram. If you're not following me, please follow me there. And it was about Kirk Franklin, the gospel artist. We all know Kirk Franklin. A lot of people know him. He's quite popular, won lots of Grammys, popular for songs like Stomp and all that. Quite well, I think it's about 52 or 53, if I'm not mistaken. And he recently just found out who his father was. I want to talk about identity, your sense of identity as a child and childhood trauma. So Kirk Franklin, he said something that really taught me to look. He's won so many awards. He's been recognized, but he would give up every award he won to be somebody's son. He so longed for that father-son thing. And, and even if you're a single parent, single mom, single dad, maybe either divorce, widowhood, or whatever the situation, maybe you were never married, the truth is that it's important for that child to know, oh, I have a father, even if he's not in my life. Oh, I have a mother, even if she's not in my life. And if it's possible for him or her to be in the child's life, by all means, make it happen. But if, at least let the child know. For him, he didn't know who his father was, and it gave him a sense of longing, gave him he had a huge complex because of that. He felt inferior. He had no family. So just to give you a bit of a background, he was born to a teenage mom. She was about 15 or so when she had him. And her aunt, who encouraged her, said, like, look, don't abort the child. It's her 64-year-old, her aunt was in her 60s, eventually took him up and adopted him. She was 64 when he was 4. She adopted him at the age of 4. And it wasn't easy. She had no children, she was a widow, and she raised him alone. There was a very lonely childhood for him. He doesn't say much about her, he appreciates her, but he says that at a point when he got to his teenage years, when she was like in her 70s, it was obviously a bit difficult for her, raising a teenage son, it was difficult. He had a lot of tough times. His real mother used to come and visit him 2 or 3 times a year, I think 3 times a year, and she would come and she would go. And he always said, why can't I go and be with your family? She moved on, got married, had other children, I presume, but I know she got married. And he always felt, you guys have family, I want to be part of that. And I don't know what happened with them, but right now he doesn't really have a relationship with his mom. They hadn't, until they saw this year, it had been over 20 years since they had seen. So obviously a strained relationship. At some point, she introduced a man to him as his father. He tried to connect with the guy wasn't really connecting with him. I think part of the irritation was that, oh, because I'm famous, you now want to show up. When I was introduced, you didn't show. So anyway, he made his peace with the guy before the guy died. But there was still some longing and something missing. So when somebody told him, someone attended the family friend's funeral, and there was this guy there, if you see the resemblance, and the guy said, oh, I went out with so and so's mom, with Kirk's mom, when we were young. I was with her. And everybody was like, what? Because the resemblance they were like, this guy, Kirk looks like this guy. And one thing happened, led to another, and he ended up doing a DNA test, and it showed that the guy was his father. Kirk's mother is in denial over it. You can watch the video of Kirk Franklin's day. Maybe I'll, search for it, or maybe I'll put it in the video. But the bottom line is that he met the guy, and that's just that feeling of, oh my God, I have a father. I know who my father is. The pain, I've not known him for over 50 years. I've longed for this, not knowing you were even somewhere close by. And, Kirk was saying how it affected even his own parenting. She said he overparented, because he was like, oh, I want to give my children something I didn't have. And because he was just dealing with the whole trauma, the loneliness, the rejection, feelings of abandonment. I had no one to play with me. Nobody really wanted me. I don't have an identity. Who am I? Even this Franklin, I'm answering, I think that was his aunt's last name. So he was just like, who am I? And that gave him such a huge complex. It affected his marriage. His marriage is still on, but it took a lot of work from, the wife. He always talked about how his wife, if not for her own family, and how they, supported the marriage, that they won't be married today, because he was a broken, traumatized individual because of all those issues he was dealing with. So this is just to say, a child's identity is so important. A child's identity is so important. When we think of people all over the world, You know, and sometimes those things are so annoying. You see a woman that will suffer and raise a child, and the moment the child finds out who his father is, they are running to the father. They're like, see this traitor. Where has the man been since? But everybody has that longing for that connection to say, oh, this is where I'm from. The same thing with people. You see a lot of our brothers in diaspora, African Americans, when they connect with the motherland, there's that excitement that this is my roots. This is where I came from. So we need to continue to give our children a sense of belonging, and we need to take childhood trauma seriously. Kirk, luckily for him, you say he was in counseling for a long time. Yes, the word of God helps and it heals, but also you need to talk to children. So please, moms and dads, even if your children know you, always make sure you give them that sense of belonging, that sense of knowing that you care about them, you are there for them. These things go a long way. You see a lot of adults, they are wounded beings. They have been wounded just knowing that nobody really cared, or feeling that nobody really cared, nobody was there for me. We don't want our children to have those feelings. No matter how busy you are, no matter what the situation is, if you're not living with your spouse or with the father or mother of your child, try and reach out, try and be there for them. Little things, birthdays, text messages, phone calls, just compliments, showing that you care, you're part of their life. You might say, well, I don't have money to do X, Y, Z. Forget about it. Yes, try, Sha, because that money is important. But beyond the money, are you talking to your child? Do you have phone calls? Do you know them? Can they discuss things with you? Do you have a relationship with your child? Please, do not allow whatever is going on between you and the father or mother of your child to rob you from a relationship with that child. It is so important and plays a huge impact on the child in the future. If you're lucky to have a good, and if for some reason the father or mother is not there, death or whatever, it's okay. God is faithful, and God will surely fill in the gap. He will send you people, he will send you wisdom to help you on the journey. Because I've seen so many people raised by a lone mom or lone dad, and they've done a fantastic job. So don't feel that because there's no father or mother in the picture, it's all over. It's not all over. It's not all over. So just to encourage you. So yeah, certainly go and read that Kirk Franklin story. It's a very interesting one. And I'll see you later. Don't forget, I have this program coming up, the Butterfly Program, coaching and mentoring program for women. If you want to join us, send me a message, chioma@gmail.com. My email address is so easy. Send me a message, connect with me. I'd love to take you on this journey as we talk about partnership, marriage, career, parenting, and other things. God bless you and have a good day.